The legacy for Unity Festival 24 builds on the legacy of the last 3 Unity Festivals that we've had. It's about, firstly, bringing in new audiences to see work and feeling that they've got a right to be here, that this isn't just, oh, that's a place that doesn't have anything to do with me, I don't engage with it, I don't know what the arts are, that there's something over there. It's about saying, oh, well, actually, we helped to bring those artists, that was our idea. Or, do you know, I've never seen an opera singer before with electronics, or somebody from Kenya really move me.
This year we have a really diverse lineup of people. We've had diversity as a theme, so it's always been very diverse. But this year, for instance, we have Bilal, who's a sand artist from Turkey. We have Rapasa, who is from Kenya and who is performing traditional music, but with his own creative twist. We have Katie Oswald, who goes under the name of Harkling, who is a trained opera singer but uses electronics to layer her voice. We have our Ukrainian group, which has a performance piece very much about our place in the universe and how we coexist with nature or not. We also have our Young People's Band, original tunes. We have a band from Jack Drum Arts. So a very, very varied programme of activity, along with both talks, which are all nature-based talks, and workshops.
There is a connection sometimes when you turn, when you move, there is an energy that circulates in the space. There is a connection that happens. You cannot really physically have a hold of it, but there's a connection. You could see it in their eyes, you know. And sometimes I keep that energy before I break it. I said, I'm breaking it. I'm leaving it. Let it go, you know. When I let it go, it goes to the other person or someone else in the space, or it just lives within the space. So there's a connection that sometimes happens in that space, and sometimes I hold into it and I work with it. I let it be.
I really, really enjoyed the performance this morning. I hadn't scheduled to come, but I'm so pleased I did. I felt very calm. I didn't actually feel calm when I came in this morning, but it did make me feel extremely calm. It was rhythmic and it got into sort of a rhythm where I felt very at ease and I could connect with him and his spirit and his music. So I've enjoyed it this morning.
Have you seen anything like that before?
No, I mean, I do work with quite a diverse team. We have a bit of an eclectic mix of styles, and for me, I can take this back into what I do in my role and share it with my team and promote what you've done today. It's been wonderful.
Well, we're a group of young artists, and we meet a few times a week and we write music together about topics that are meaningful to us and that sort of say something about what's happening in the world. So recently we were inspired by the museum because we knew we'd be performing here, so we wrote a song inspired by all the things that we found. We came on a trip and we found lots of inspiration from that.
As Skimston Arts, we never repeat anything twice. We want to build on what we learn, and we want to open up an opportunity to bring the new artistic voices from other cultures. And all year I'm going out to see things and looking at how people respond to them. And I think it's about the privilege, if you like, of collecting different narratives, as I say, different musicians, different performers, different workshop leaders, different talks. Bring them together in ways where the themes can intersect and interlink, but that is something new.
So I think for young artists, Unity Festival is important because it gives them a chance to have some exposure to an audience. So for instance, we have young buskers in the shop over there who are performing for anybody who's in the shop, but it's a way for them to gain experience performing, expose them to an audience and have that kind of experience under their belt.
Very exhilarating actually, and you got a feeling of being wanted and appreciated. Yeah. And it also gives us a satisfaction of giving some enjoyment to others.
It was really good today. It was really great just to see such a lovely bunch of people really just showing their passion, and I think it's just so lovely that no matter how old you are, you can still always get together with your friends, no matter what condition you're in, and have a good time and put a smile on other people's faces. I think it's just a really lovely thing. And I think, when I get to this age, this is what I want to do. I think it's just a really lovely thing.
This is what we think about all the time when we're putting a programme together, when we're doing Skimstone work. It's what are we doing that's creating a new lens on our worlds, opening our worlds to maybe think and see things in different ways, hearing new languages, new instruments, new ways of actually dancing in a space, new ways of physically taking part in something. new ways of thinking about stories and narratives that are outside our own frame of reference. That's what the arts do.
Yeah, it's really important. I love the opportunity because it's quite important professionally, because I can say I was part of the performance, and then it's also spiritually really important for me because it helped me like rest, recharge myself.
It was fantastic and amazing for me.
Why?
Because what I think music is power of our journey and is very useful for your soul,
Yeah.
for your mental,
Yes. Yeah.
for everything.
I think Unity Festival brings that opportunity for people to emerge into performances, into experiences they wouldn't have otherwise.
When I sat down and I heard Hartland, I immediately started to cry, and then it just got more and more and more crying, and my face was so wet and I was so emotional that I couldn't actually look at the performer, and I kept trying to open my eyes to see the performance, but I was so overcome with deep emotion that I couldn't actually get my eyes open. I was just crying and crying, and to me I felt grief and I felt hope, and it was like a kind of welcome grief actually. Like I was quite happy that I was having this deep emotion because there's no space held for that particular emotion of how we feel about the earth.
My piece is called The Hidden Chorus, and it is essentially inspired by what's like beneath, hidden beneath, and I think being a musician I'm interested in the sounds that are beneath the earth and the ground. So the piece also speaks to like hidden stories that might be beneath the ground that maybe we've forgotten how to listen to.
We had a very difficult job, I can say, because we had around 16 artists, very different, very dynamic, very interesting people who we need to choose only 4 of them, 6 of them to show their artwork and be part of the workshop at our first festival at Hancock Museum. We were like very care about the public, so we wanted to choose the artists who will like the best suit the public. So we will try thinking about people who will be good with not only adults, with children also.
My name's Sally, I'm an artist, and at Unity Festival I'm creating these lovely big banners where everyone can drop in and paint together, and then we're going to take those outside, and they're all to do with unity, peace, nature and the themes of the festival. I tend to find that people are surprised how sort of mindful it is and that it's a nice opportunity to relax. Because I think adults in particular don't always give themselves that space unless the activity's sort of put out and they're encouraged to take part in it. So you quite often do things like this as drop-ins, and then people go, oh, I lost myself in that paint, I didn't realise that 20 minutes had passed or something like that. So I find that's a really nice thing. I think young people give themselves that space and sometimes adults don't, so it's nice to get families in doing it all together.
Well, I think sometimes I have a lot of friends who say, oh, I can't believe you get kind of paid to just draw, but obviously it's so much more than that, isn't it? Creative thinking is thinking outside of the box. Making an owl mask out of cupcake holders is a bit different to what you would maybe think a mask looks like straight away. So I think art feeds into all sorts of different careers and avenues for I'm just talking from a children's point of view. I think it's really important to use your imagination and then feed that into your own interests.
Mainly movement and expression, it's like they are vital for any people, for any person. And you see that like levels of depression, levels of people not dealing with others, like social inability, they are all due to this sense of liberty, of freedom that we don't find in our bodies. And then suddenly through movement you start like feeling, and it's the opposite. You can even dialogue with your inner self through movement, but also you can also dialogue with the outside of the world. So you can use your body to do that. How you translate those things, those layers of information, which are emotions as well. And it's very much like painting.
Okay, so first you start like shaking our bodies, shaking. Don't even jump from the floor, just like shaking. You still feel like grounding. First I want you guys to ground yourselves.
It is incredible that the different cultures are coming together in one spot. And these cultures are, these types of events that we do have like this, I think it's so important that we allow or create more events like it, and to really bind all the cultures rather than going to this whole world of division that we are in at the moment. And we know that also in this country is just not helping people really. It's in fact destroying a lot of the cultures. And it's spiritually, this is something very alive. You've created something very colourful here. I just want to thank you for such an enormous moment. I'm actually a little bit very touched deep in my heart.
Your self-expression through art helps you get to know yourself and understand what's going on for you. It can be a sort of community thing where you actually use that time to just spend that time with other people where you might not spend it socially, and just again to take some time out from your daily life. It's that mindfulness, you kind of lose yourself, and there's something as well with using your hands which is actually very, very good for you. Rather than just trying to relax by doing something like watching TV, doing something with your hands. I can't remember the science on it. There are studies out there if anybody's interested, but that really is something that's very good for you.
We were asked to come by the organisers, but we agreed to it because we often do things at the Owl Centre, but also we felt like the community aspect was really important. We want people to know what's in their area and the animals that they can see if they just give a little bit of time to nature. So this is our otter. He's a native species. You see them a lot at Boresfield. And that's just one of our nature reserves at the Wildlife Trust, free to enter. We get them on the River Tees, but this guy is really old. He was donated by a museum so we can show children and people how they feel and how big they are.
So our attitude toward the kittiwakes has changed even in these 10 years, and that's because a lot of us have got to know them. And that's the most important thing. When we think about welcoming wildlife or people into our city, the best way to do that is to get to understand them and to get to know them. See what's similar, see what's different.
I wanted to have a look around because I've always wanted to come to festivals. I enjoy going to festivals, but I saw that there was a BSL interpreter, so that's the reason I've come, because I knew I'm going to be able to access what's going on. Well, I've been to a couple of talks. We've been to a talk about marine mammals, talking about whales and seals and dolphins, which was really, really lovely to see, and it's something I'm genuinely interested in because trying to read information in English is very difficult for me to do because my language is British Sign Language, so having an interpreter there, I could access the information in my own language.
So I'm setting up the pledge wall because this is a really important part of our Unity Festival, as well as audiences coming and, you know, hopefully seeing really, well, they are seeing really beautiful thought-provoking artworks and performances. We want it to really make a difference and think, how does that make me feel? How am I going to respond to that? What action am I going to do? So you can see somebody's put, for example, Unity has taught me togetherness. You know, maybe just recognising diversity as such a positive thing. Somebody's put recycling. I think that came from one of the talks that happened. just seeing how people respond to the exhibitions. It's just that sense of being active, doing something that you can take away with you and think, oh, I could make a little bit of difference in the world. The social action underpins all this festival. You know, it's all about diversity, really understanding what that means with mixing audiences together, politically and socially.
I think from the very beginning, we always knew we wanted to collaborate with the Unity Festival. Your ideas, the focus you had on action, on making a difference, on bringing different people together, really resonated strongly with us. And we really look forward to welcoming people who had never been to this museum before and extending that warm welcome even beyond the festival. And we're really delighted that so many people attended, had a great time, used our venue and our spaces and felt at home here. And yeah, we were just thrilled to have that opportunity to work with you all to make that happen.
But I think everything within Unity Festival, it was risky enough in that it's something, as far as I'm aware, we've not done before with Skimstone Arts in this museum. And it is something different to our usual programme. It kind of breaks that mould a little bit, and we're perhaps not used to doing a music and dance and arts festival in this space. We usually focus more on the museum collections and objects. So I think there was risk that, you know, our building isn't maybe the most technical. It is an old building, and there are certain elements of Unity Festival that require quite high-tech spaces. And I think working together, we kind of ironed all those problems out ahead of schedule. And in doing so, the different programme to our usual programme worked really well in this space, and in fact complemented the collections that we have here, complemented the space, so it worked really well together. And I think in opening your doors to a free public festival, it's always a risk. It's always quite nerve-wracking when you don't know how people are going to respond. But straight away, you could see what a great time people were having. People felt really relaxed and welcomed and at home. And there was absolutely no stress or worry after about 5 minutes of the festival that it was going to be a great weekend.
The power of the arts, for me, that sharing of narrative, sharing of different ways of looking at the world in new ways is critical, and the debate around it and making sure that we're not afraid to go to sometimes quite challenging places, but not in a way that's disengaging. It's a way it intrigues people, makes people curious, makes them want to find out more. Go and chat to somebody. Just look at somebody in a new way, because actually they brought something really special.
Unity is
you stop all the noise and then you just put your mind to be a very simple person and then realize that life don't have to be so busy. There's sometimes to just reflect on and appreciate what you already have and not thinking that you have to have so much to be happy.
Actually, this is the best part is the music section. It's a really different type of music. Yeah. It's different really. That's why I like most.
I have the many dishes. All of them, they have the different tastes, and also the people. I like the people who want they say, "Oh, amazing food!" This make me happy, and then we make more sharing is a lot of this one. So I have to say thank you so much for this day.
For me, it's a platform to share what I have to offer to the world. It's a platform for people to experience the world through me, and for people to have a broader understanding of the human experience and how we are all interconnected. And I hope that my works and what I've written can also reflect that as well. And I believe Unity Festival is a great place to showcase this as well.
Nourishing. Unity Festival has been nourishing.